Yeah, I can't get you out of my mind, no. Said I think about you all of the time, yeah. Been imagining you all in my bed, whoa. Hey, cause you been running round in my head, yeah. Hey, I can't get you out of my mind, no. Said I think about you all of the time.
And the Kia Most Improved Player is
Pascal Siakam.
I just want to, tell you to believe in your dreams and go out there and work hard for it. And I promise you it will happen. And like the great Nelson Mandela said, it always seems impossible until it's done. Thank you.
The 2019 NBA season was full of many surprises, but one of the biggest surprises of them all was Pascal Siakam, a player that was drafted essentially as a role player with the 27th overall pick in the 2016 NBA draft, and in his rookie year averaged 4 points, 3 rebounds, then in his sophomore year upped it to 7 points, just under 5 rebounds, and then in his third year wins the Most Improved Player, and in my opinion was the second best player on the Toronto Raptors team that won the NBA championship and was a part of a roster that brought home a championship to the city of Toronto the first time in the team's existence. But how great can Pascal Siakam become moving forward? Because that's what this video is going to be about. I've lately been talking about improvements for NBA players and 3 improvements and things like that. But when I look at Siakam's game, it's more so about him just developing and him becoming accustomed to being a star player in the NBA if he can do so. But in this video, we are going to discuss how great can Pascal Siakam really become. But without further ado, you guys, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and hit the bell to be notified after each and every single video that I post. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. All my social media links will be in the description box. Make sure you do so after watching this video. And guys, let's get those likes all the way up. If you enjoy the content that you see, not just from this video, but throughout this channel, and you want to see more great videos just like this one, click that like button. Let's try to get those likes all the way up, as far up as we possibly can. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate all of you guys. But now let's get back to the video. Pascal Siakam was the most improved player of the past NBA season, and this year had his breakout year, obviously from the award name, and was one of the co-stars with Kawhi Leonard as they led the Toronto Raptors to the first championship in the franchise's history. During the regular season, he put up improvements really all across the board, jumped from 7 points to 17 points, 2 assists to well over 3 assists, from less than 5 rebounds to nearly 7 rebounds a game, and also went from just under 51% from the field to nearly 55% from the field, and went from 22% from 3 to nearly 37% from 3, and even from the free throw line, jumped from 62% to nearly 79%. Literally every single aspect of the board, Pascal Siakam improved. And I didn't even mention his defense. Pascal Siakam as a defender is very, very underrated and slept on. As a defender, he can switch on pick and rolls and defend some of the guards in very critical and key situations. And also, I don't think players like Pascal Siakam, as well as Ibaka and Gasol, but I really want to focus on Siakam, they don't get enough credit for what happened to Giannis in the Toronto Raptors Milwaukee Bucks Eastern Conference Finals, because after those 2 games they really put that wall around the paint and really forced him to take jumpers, whether it was from the mid-range or from the 3-point line, and Siakam was definitely a part of that and contributed to them shutting down Giannis Antetokounmpo in the last 4 games of that Eastern Conference Finals. But in the NBA Finals, that's where Pascal Siakam shined the most. I mean, immediately from game 1, where he had the best game of his career, where he had 32 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks to steal on 82% shooting from the field, nearly 67% from 3 and 100% from the free throw line. He was sensational all across the board as the Toronto Raptors would win that game, and he was the best player on the court as they took game 1 by 9 points against the Golden State Warriors. But throughout that entire series, he definitely showed some star potential as he averaged 20 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, while shooting around 51% from the field and 76% from the free throw line. He was sensational all across the board on the grandest stage of them all. If that doesn't show star potential, I mean, I don't know what kind of star potential you want. He has shown improvement each and every single year of his career, all across the board, not just on the offensive side of the ball, but also on the defensive side of the ball. But now next year with Kawhi Leonard leaving, as well as Danny Green if you want to throw him in there as well, it is going to be Siakam, and let's watch what he can do next year, or we could trade him because he is now entering the last year of his contract, and depending on how he plays, he could get a lot of offers from anywhere across the league. Who knows what the Toronto Raptors are going to do moving forward with a player like Siakam? Because honestly, as great as Siakam played last year, especially in the finals as Kawhi Leonard's co-star, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not completely sold on Pascal Siakam. Yes, he has improved every year of his career, but when you look at what he did in the postseason, there were a lot of times that he was very shaky. I mean, hell, look at what he did against Orlando. The man averaged 23 and 8 on 53% from the field, but then in the next series against Philly, averages 19 and 6 on 44% from the field and 27% from 3. Yeah, a little rough there. And then it even got worse against Milwaukee as he averaged less than 15 points and 7 rebounds on 40% field goal shooting, 25% from 3, and 66% from the free throw line. So yeah, I definitely think that there are some inconsistencies in his game, and it was definitely exposed in the postseason, and that's when he had Kawhi Leonard. As now he has the full year to himself, he is the #1 option, and there's going to be more defensive focus on him and his game. So I definitely think that when you look at what the Toronto Raptors are going to do moving forward, it's very, very interesting, especially when you consider he has 1 year left on his contract. If Siakam is garbage and just bombs it this season, and I'm not saying he's going to go out there and average 5 points or something, but I'm saying if he doesn't live up to those expectations and is more disappointing than the Toronto Raptors probably hope that he could be, that's going to be very, very tough. Because I don't know if anybody else heard it or not, but apparently the Toronto Raptors were offered to get Paul George and Russell Westbrook via trade, and all they had to give up was Siakam, but they said no. Now, maybe there are more factors to that. That rumor could be completely false, but I'm just saying, it looks like they have a lot of faith in Pascal Siakam and what he could be. And this year is very, very critical for his career, and it's going to be the toughest one of his career. Like I said, I'm not thinking that he's going to fail, but I do have my doubts. And the one thing that I could give him as a form of suggestion and some advice, the only improvement that I think he needs to make, because the other things you could say he's not great at anything, he's not a great scorer, not a great defender, not a great shooter or anything, but those things can develop with time. But the one thing that I think he needs to improve on is really consistency. And hopefully over time he can do that, because you can see with a player like Siakam that the work ethic is definitely there. Yeah, I don't mean to sound like Mike Krzemba, but he definitely has the work ethic and the motivation and the drive to get better day after day after day, game by game by game, year by year by year, season by season. Not trying to be repetitive, my bad, but I definitely think that Siakam has the ability and has the strength to keep doing it. But I just don't know if he can be consistent enough, or if he's even good enough to be that star player. But I'm definitely rooting for him. His skill set looks very polished already for a third-year player entering his 4th season. He has a really underrated team with Marc Gasol in the backcourt with him, as well as Serge Ibaka off the bench. They also have Kyle Lowry, even though he is on the decline, but he is still a really solid and productive player, and they have Van Vliet off the bench. So I definitely think that people look at this Toronto Raptors team, and there is a slight chance that they could make the playoffs if Siakam can step up to the point that he can elevate to an all-star caliber level, which he is capable of doing, especially right now. He is prime for an all-star caliber breakout year, and he can lead this team to a potential 6 to 8 seed. I could definitely see it, because outside of the first 4 teams in the Eastern Conference, the East is hella wide open in the bottom half. So I definitely could see him doing that. But You guys let me know what you think about Pascal Siakam in the comment section, if you think I'm right or wrong. Also subscribe if you're new to the channel and hit the bell to be notified after each and every single video that I post. Also make sure you hit that like button. Let's get those likes all the way up so I can keep making content just like this video. Subscribe to the second channel. Also follow me on social media. Those links are in the description box. This is your boy Young Mustard signing out. Make sure you have a great day. Peace.